Alright, Shalom, I praise Yahweh Bashamel, Shabbat Shemakakadash. The bonds to the apostles, who was your brother's teaching of word and sincerity and in truth. This is going to be a quick one again. This one is about something that got called smart health. And when you check this smart health out, and let me start with the scripture here. This is this is I should just talk and then read it. But when you check this out, when you had the shutdowns going on, they're having digital doctor's appointment. Now, what I've noticed on all these news channels, these different Europe news channels, whether it be England or it be mainland Europe, this is Euronews, mainland Europe news and all that. France, to Germany down to all these kind of places, Greece. But what you're noticing is that they've always got an AI section now in the news, and all they're talking about is whether it be a digital AI for all walks of life, and how that's where we're at, and how it's going to benefit humanity. So this is an agenda. Now what we're going to play next is going to go into your smart health. Now I can't see, obviously I don't want to go too much in it, but when the thing was happening, the Mad Dog 2020, or the whatever you want to call it, man. They had in Sweden, they were talking about using an implant that can monitor that if you got it or not. So that's where they go. That's basically where this is heading. Smart health tech to monitor what's going on in your body, and then what does that do? It's the Internet of Things. It encompasses everything. So through the military system, they're using AI. Through health, they're using AI, and the chip, and through war, super soldiers program, chip soldiers. How do you think they're even going to say, well, we can police at the borders? Because if people ain't got the thing in them, then you're going to be basically automatically an illegal citizen, off the grid.
Growing and ageing populations are shaping our healthcare systems, which need to be more effective and smarter. Powerful tools such as artificial intelligence and data science can bring answers to this challenge. And this digital strategy is at the heart of the European health data space.
I'm going to pause it there. Right now, there's a health crisis going on in the NHS in England, where they're saying there's not enough doctors and they're not getting enough. We showed this one old lady, and she had for 4 years. They haven't given her no teeth. She's got teeth missing and all that, so she's got to eat soups. And they're saying, how can we solve the problem and all of that? And they're saying, well, basically they were saying something. One job that would cover the 10 jobs that they got to do now, how it used to be. So they're not getting paid nowhere near. All of a sudden, just not getting paid enough. Or no, everyone's not getting paid enough. All of a sudden, everyone's strike. Trains are on strike. All that chaos. The barristers, the planes staffs, and this is how it's set up, because the plane staff, it would be staff saying, oh well, that's for the pay, but then the actual staff, the company is saying, there's about 20 different reasons as to why it's actually happening. So it's all set up, man. All right, let's get this. This is 2 Corinthians 2. And 11, it says, at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, because we're enlightened through Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai has given us the light that we can see. That's what the scripture says, that we're not is in darkness. As others are in darkness, because other people out here are in what? Gross darkness, the people. Okay? But when you're the truth, you got the light on you, so you can see through a lot of things, philosophies. You might say, oh, okay, I believe you know about the government, but then you wound up into some kind of pagan philosophy or something like that, man. You know, this is First Thessalonians 5 and 1. It says, but of the seasons, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child. They shall not escape. And what's going to be happening? All that chaos, calamity, and all of that. And then we're just sighing and crying, man. The scriptures talks about sighing and crying that we're supposed to be doing, and that's what we're doing. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. And part of that darkness is all of this. Because all you people are going to be deceived by taking the implant. All you people are going to be deceived to take that. You're going to get deceived, man. They're going to deceive your ass. And they're going to have you taking it. And you're going to be lining up at them stations. You know what I'm saying? Like you're lining up for food stamps or something. Or you're lining up for, you know what I mean? For some bottles of water and grocery. Handouts. That's what these people are going to be doing. Lined up for these stuffs. That's exactly what's going to be happening. And to go back to this topic, I'm going to make this a short one. You know, your smart health, we all know what that's leading to. You know, and I'm going to read it. And we was getting clipped for reading this. So then you couldn't really talk about the Mad Dog thing. You know, the insane outbreak. You couldn't talk about that. And then there's other things going on with other strands and all that right now. There's new strands, other strands. Oh, look what's going on in China with them people all locked down over there. Fucked. They're fucked, man. Alright. Revelation 13:16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And when you go to the 666 part next, when you check out a barcode, it's got the barcode is in the 666 is in the barcode. That's what it represents. So that's the number. That's the spiritual number that they're using on the left hand side. So you're going to be a part of that the beast system. You're worshipping the image of the beast, and you're going to bear his mark and his number, which is in that imprint. If you take that shit, and obviously the elect are not going to take that fucking shit, man, because we know not to take that. But the rest of you're lost. You're fucking lost. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there, man, that pretty much they're gonna get weak. They're gonna be like, you know what? There's no food, there's no water. You know what? Fuck it. And a lot of you are half-ass rebels. You say all this, you give it a good talk, but you know what? When any little thing happens, you're running, you're getting tested. You're doing this, you're doing that. You know, whatever it is, man. Whatever Esau says go, you just do. You know, if there's an event coming up and they say you go to the event, you know, you do. You know what I'm saying? So this is where we're at with this. You know what, let me play some of this.
Launched in May 2022 to develop safe exchanges of patients' data, to deliver better care, empower research and help EU member states in their policy making.
So what they're saying now is if you hooked up with this AI, they can just know what's going on with you and do some like super research just because it's all linked up to the system. That's what they're saying. You know, you gotta go there and you got the old fashioned way or hop on one leg and all this and that. If you're hooked up with this thing, it's gonna be a easier way to collect data about what's going on with you. And you do not think that with all this stuff that's happening, this outbreak and all that they're not going to be using this as an excuse to bring this in. Now, if this video stays up, I'll be surprised. Lord willing, I don't get a strike, but it has to be fucking said. We got the Odyssey set up. It's called Let Go channel. I'll probably, Lord, when I put it in, I'm gonna actually post it. Brothers asked I've done a video on it, but you know, I gotta put it back in the description box. In that channel, I don't really put the videos I put on YouTube on like or breakdowns, just anything like that. I've just mainly put up this kind of information, you know. Um, but that's what it is, man. So, you know, I mean, with that being said, man, that's where we're at with this now. They was stripping people off for that med information. You know what I'm talking about? That I don't even want to use the words mismed information. They were saying, "Oh, you guys can't say what you're saying." When that that zombie attack outbreak was going on.
What kind of data are we talking about? It's the information related to our health that's generated when we see a doctor or go to hospital. This is known as the primary use of health data. The secondary use is the processing of aggregated health data to improve healthcare services, the development of medicines, and research.
Also, so do you think they're not going to use this? So the next step is, well, look, with this strain or strand, what's out there, they're going to say, well, we need to tackle this. So we need to do some real research. We need the DNA. We need to hook you up to this AI so we can combat this. And if you don't, you're a terrorist. That's what's going to be happening. Outright. They locked down the world over this shit. They got people, what was it, 80,000 people locked up over there in China over this, man. This is real. This ain't a joke. This is real, man.
Paris hosts one of the most advanced health digital infrastructures in Europe.
So this is so in different parts of Europe, they're high on this. They've got this going on, this health stuff, this smart health. It's all linked. Why is it all of a sudden they got smart health? They're gonna have the banks of England and different banks across the world are pushing a digital. They all want the money to be completely digital right now. This is what they're talking about. I just did a video they called the C something DC or something like that. The digital currencies. That's what they're pushing, man. The digital currency and the fuck and the blasted what do you call it, man? This stuff, the health stuff, smart health. It all links. It's called the Internet of Things. Now, when John the Revelator seen this stuff, it says, let me read it. It says that he was going to come back to prophesy of this, and now we really understand it more than you know what I'm saying. We're here now living it. John the Revelator seen the Israelites in these realms. This is John 10. Because a lot of you don't see how we can link this with the prophecy. Well, you're supposed to be a prophet, right? So how can you not link what's going on in the world to prophecy? You bugged out of your mind, man. This is a Revelation 10 and 10, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth, sweet as honey. And as soon as I'd eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. And that's what we're doing right now with this information, with what's going on. We're prophesying right now of the end times, man. And I've seen people will comment, so you sound repetitive. Well, I'm damn sure you ain't gonna be saying that when there's no fucking food in your store, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be saying that there. You go to your fucking local corner store and there's fuck all in there, man. Empty shelves.
The Health Data Hub links different actors within the health ecosystem and has set up a technological platform that enables public interest projects to exploit large data sources.
Artificial intelligence means being able to move from healthcare that treats you when you're already ill to healthcare that alerts you to the risk of hospitalization. It means moving from healthcare that treats to healthcare that prevents.
When it comes to bringing together health data from different countries that use different standards and language.
So think about it, man. The scripture says of the earth was the medicines for you to be healed. They ain't talking about that. They're talking about smart health. They're talking about health now, and your health is all about robots and AI. when the scriptures clearly says medicines are out of the earth. So this is where we're at with things, right? With all this, you know what I'm saying? This is what they're talking about, man. They ain't going into the herbs. They're going into, well, you know what? By the way, medicine, technology, AI. This is what they're on. So this is what's going on with all this, man. This is where we're at with this. And, you know, the scripture clearly says that the Lord has made medicines out of the earth, which is in the Apocrypha. Okay. I can't find that off the fly, so I'm just gonna keep.
Languages, the challenge is to find a common code. This involves two main steps.
The first step is to have a common data model. The second step is to set up a common vocabulary. That's a bit like the construction of a sentence. All countries need to agree on whether to use a subject-verb-object construction, for example, or subject-object-verb.
Pipelines to connect health databases are at the heart of the European health data space, but sharing confidential data requires high levels of security. The French Data Hub applies strict standards of IT protection to prevent access to patients' personal data.
Do you get the point, man? Because they're gonna go into some other stuff here about data, because they always talk about that. Every time they're gonna push the thing and they're pushing that sort of information, they always start talking about your data and your protection, because they gotta do assessments and because people have got fears. People are, won't people be able to steal? Because you got cyber crimes. You got let's say you got your bank card now and you go and scan a barcode. People have got a scam where they put another barcode over it and then your details go straight to them. So you got cyber crimes. So they've got to push this to make everybody that's uneasy about this system, they've got to soothe them and make them feel comfortable about what's going on and what they're doing. Let's get this. This is Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's the system. This is system, yeah. You know, they always act like they're out for the better of people. No, they're fucking not. No, I mean, come on. That's where people's eyes are wide shut, like that film. You can't. It's crazy, man. People still they still believe in politics. It's all a joke. Now, if you get some politician in there that says, oh, he's gonna try and make some kind of real change, you might get killed. Who's that dude, John F. Kennedy? That dude got assassinated, man. So them politicians, they've got to go by. They're told what to push, and it keeps this. You got the left and the right, and it keeps everything in its proper perspective. So you know, one side doesn't tip completely over the edge. They get a new leader that might hear that's supposed to be the voice of the people, Labour. That's what it is. So you get the voice of the people. Well, how much complaining is gonna? How much time is these people just gonna keep switching politicians? People gonna see this place is over, man. Because all the agendas lead to this. Now there's a video I'm gonna do because it was talking about. So you got all these politicians, and guess what? Behind the scenes, they're all backing the digital currencies. Everything they're backing is what the elites want. They always back that. They don't second guess that. They weren't none of them second guessing the lockdowns and the digital currencies and all of that. They're all for that. Alright? And that's how it goes, man. So I'm gonna close this one out, and I'll do a next show. I might go into that topic about these these wolves in sheep's clothing, your politicians, and all that, you know, the puppets on strings, and now they're basically, you know, what stuff that they're pushing in. So with that, I'm gonna say, Shalom.